So 3-star Diamond Mastermind call with Whitney Webb. She's going to talk today on focusing on the bigger picture. She is an amazing coach who has been a coach for almost 2 years now. Like I said, 3-star Diamond. She has over 100 elite points already. She's already gained 120,000 in volume so far for the year, which is incredible. She also, and that's actually 120 over last year. So she's done a phenomenal job. She also has capped the category of Success Club. So she has taught her coaches how to hit Success Club, which is absolutely amazing. So with that being said, she is going to talk all about focusing on the bigger picture. Whitney, go ahead. And everybody else, please mute yourself. Thank you.
Yay, thank you for that introduction. That was sweet and fun to hear. So like she said, I'm Whitney, and this is my very favorite topic to talk about. I talk about it with my team all the time, and I've been on a guest speaker on calls with it, and I'll kind of tell a little bit of my background story and why it is my very favorite topic. In the end of 2013, I had just won custody of my son after a nasty divorce and custody battle that took years and thousands of dollars. And I hit rock bottom, to say the least. I lost my house. I had to file bankruptcy. I was pretty much homeless and working any job I could to survive, and had spent every last dime in court. So I had needed to move. I gained that. So I was able to move from Oregon to California and have my son, and I needed to start over. And I needed to be present in his life. And with this big transition, and I was working, I found a full-time job in Corona, California, and was just kind of doing whatever I could to get by, and I had met a coach through a friend and joined a challenge group. And obviously I felt amazing after drinking Shakeology for a couple months and losing, well, to date I've lost almost 75 pounds, but at that point I lost like 30 pounds and was feeling my and knew I wanted to pay that forward. So I wanted to give women a chance to feel that self-worth and that self-confidence, and kind of give people that had felt like me, where I'm desperate and able to have that. And I felt like Beach was that way for me to do it. But as a coach in 2014, and I immediately wanted to know how I could leave my job, how I could be present in my child's life every day. So I started looking into big picture and visions and goals, and really focused on that, because I noticed after the first month of hitting Success Club, I was wiped out. Like, I felt super tired because I busted my butt to get that Success Starters, and then I knew I wanted to get a ticket to Summit. Like, these little things, these little steps. And I started building my team, and like they were feeling the same way, like kind of like, whew, did that. Now they're back in the rat race. So it was really important for me to kind of research more and focus on that big picture and that vision of why we wanted to hit Success Club and why we were doing this, and being able to switch that mindset and see self and see my team where we wanted to be. So I immediately started looking, and I took some classes online, which now I used Oprah and Oprah's like website to make a vision board. And I'll show you my current vision board here in a second, but I made like a big craft vision board, and I put it right next to my bed. So it was the first thing that I saw when I opened my eyes. So I knew what I was going for, at every second, and to remind myself when I woke up what I was working for. So, I also was taking, in one of my classes that I took from Oprah was, I love Oprah, by the way, was how to put a picture next to like your workspace of working for and why you're doing it. first picture was a picture of me walking my son to school, because that's what I wanted to do. And I had a date on there of when I wanted to be a full-time coach, full-time stay-at-home mom. And that was 11 months into the business, and I was going to do everything to make it happen. And on the days that I didn't want to message or invite people or talk to anybody or post my sweaty selfie, I stared at that picture and knew that by not helping and reaching out and sharing the opportunity that we're so blessed to have, I wasn't doing anybody, including myself, any favors, and I wasn't going to get closer to the day of being able to walk him to school every day. So that really, really, really helped me to see that, have that there next to my workspace. And it also kept me focused when I would like start to scroll on Facebook. And coaches do that. And have coaches that like have a little basket of there's goodies in their laptop, and they like do their power hour on the kitchen table. And then they have to like take their picture out, and I make them post pictures of their workspace with their picture of what they're working for. And they also need to show me their vision board. I do a 10-day new coach training, and one of the first things we do is we make vision boards, and we make them all together. We get on a Zoom, and it's like craft time. I bust out, I send them things if they need help, or like we find pictures online that they want to print out, because I make them make a physical one. So that was my picture. And then 11 months into the job, on that date, I was able to leave my job and be able to be home with my son after that 11 months. So then I like had to think of a new thing. So then by this point I had been in a new relationship and gotten engaged. And so my next thing was I wanted to pay for my wedding in cash. So I need to switch my picture up because I was able to do it. I'm a newlywed, but this picture was an engagement picture of my son and my now husband and I, and that was next to my computer, so I could make that happen and get that wedding paid for in cash. And we wanted. And I share all this with my coaches, and I always want to and we talk about goals and the big picture at least weekly, if not a few times a week in the team. And I talk about it on their GSR, like on their Getting Started Right call. I'm like, what do you want out of this? Like I listen to them on what they want, why they signed up to coach, and then how we can make that happen and how we can focus on that. And that all the little things add up to that, and that it's not silly to visualize and put down you building a house, and like visualize yourself in it, not just picking a car from a magazine and popping it on your vision board because you want a new car, but like visualizing that new car smell, visualizing yourself in that car and driving off the lot, and what you have to do to get to that big picture. And right now the big picture is really important for me and probably all of us, because I'm pretty sure most of us, if not all of us, are pushing for elite. So focusing on, in that mindset that's already happened. Happen after that, and want elite, not like all the little things to get there. And like, it's so easy to micromanage and like stare at those people that you need a diamond. And then, instead of doing that, focusing on already being there, already seeing them at diamond, and then why you want that and what's happening after. So, that's pretty much the basic of the bigger picture and focusing on it and why, and then just sharing that with your team, because I know we all get it especially even as our teams grow, but, and my team's feeling it right now. They're feeling the slower month, and it's my job to stay positive and keep them focused on their big picture. So I've been doing this all for a lot of other teams too, because they're like, my team keeps coming to me for negative, and like, nobody's hitting Success Club right now, and why not? And it's just kind of like, why do they need to send those invites every day? Why do they need to reach out and send 5 Hey Girls, and build those relationships, and look beyond that, what they want, and really digging into their why with them and digging into that bigger picture, because that's going to keep them on track. So, here's my vision board. It's totally crafty. It's totally like, I bust out the glue gun and everything. And that's right next to my bed. Like my poor husband, he probably hates staring at that ugly zebra print, but I don't care. Like that is going to go right by my bed, and that's what I'm going to see every day. And I make my coaches do the same. Not all of them probably have it hanging in their bedroom, but they all have it somewhere near where they can see it every day. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I've got.
What question for you, as far as personal development goes, and really, helping keep that positive mindset? What would you suggest are some of your top 3 books that you would suggest to your coaches on something like this?
I make all my coaches read You're a Badass. I make all my coaches read Girl Boss, and I make all my coaches read GoPro. And then because it's really that self-belief. So You're a Badass is amazing for that. And then I'm reading Leaders Eat Last. And I'm having them read that too, because that is freaking good. Like if you guys haven't read it, it's really good. And it's helping me focus on that too. Like that whole mindset, of helping and the reason why I'm so big on letting my team know about the big picture and making sure they're focused on it. And why we spend Sundays like dreaming. I mean, Sundays I call it social Sundays in my team page, and nothing businessy is put page on. It's all, getting to know each other, what we're doing. And like, we dream, we talk about our goals. We talk about what it's going to be like when, so-and-so leaves her job. We have a freaking party on Sundays if somebody has left their job or paid off a credit card or like bought something in cash. I mean, gone on date night without a credit card. Like those are huge things. And those are things to be celebrated, and then, focus on that next big thing. So yes, those are my PD books.
Love it. I love the social Sundays. Guys, I think that this is the biggest thing with this business. You can work this business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have to unplug. And every time I talk to a coach, I've done it the last 2 days, and I say they were going on a vacation this weekend. And I'm like, okay, you have to take 1 day and just unplug. It's all about you. Because if not, it's that rat race and you're constantly doing it. So I love that social Sundays, because you want to celebrate success and you want to not focus on business. So I love that. What other questions do you coaches have, on positivity or how to bring this? I know, because this is something that you absolutely should do with brand new coaches. And if you haven't, something obviously to implement. But any questions for Whitney about this?
I do. Or when you're having them create the vision board, and I love the idea that it actually has to be like the hands-on and not just like an online, and they get more the feel. How many categories or areas would you say is a fair amount for them to put on there? Like, we obviously want them to put more than 2 of their visions, but 15 might be too much. So what do you suggest is a good amount to start with?
I tell them 5 to 10, and I always have them do like kind of a little, I mean, I wouldn't call it sucks to call it little, but I always have like one that's a little more reachable than just like all the huge ones. Like I have a girl on my team who really wanted a house cleaner. And so once a month. And so that was like her next, doable thing that she'd be able to afford, that $100 a month for the house cleaner. So that's like a good one. So I always make sure there's at least 2 of those. And then I would say 5 to maybe 10 others. And at all categories. Like we put our coaching stuff on there, but we also put, houses, cars, debt, school, things for our kids, family vacations. I got Disneyland season passes on mine. I mean, things like that. So did that answer your question?
Yeah.
What other questions? And I would really challenge you guys to go out and create a new one, because I know I had one when I lived in Florida. And honestly, I just started thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have that. Because now that I live single, I mean, I can really have anything on my vision board because I'm the only one looking at it. So I would honestly, now I'm starting to think, oh my gosh, I want to do that for me in my life. And because you're absolutely right. If you focus on it, it's going to happen. The fact that your goal was to retire in 11 months and you did it exactly, that isn't just fate. You know what I mean? You put those into those actions and you're thinking about that every single second. So it's going to happen. So now's your time to kind of refocus, because it is September. There's only, 3 months left into the year, but are you going to make the end of 2015 amazing? Or are you going to start January 1st, 2016 and say, hey, this is the year, right? Because we do that. So I'd really challenge you to go out and redo it and recreate it. Have a bigger vision.
Yeah, and make a new one. Like I make a new one probably every 3 months. And yes, go to Hobby Lobby. It's the jam. I make a new one all the time. Like last year, I didn't even know what the heck Premiere was, and Jeff Pearson at the time was like, "You could hit Premiere," and I was like, "Okay." So I like made a whole new vision board, and then bam, I hit it. I'm really big into manifesting. I mean, my life literally took like the craziest turn in not very long, and that was all because of manifesting that I believed my son and I deserve better. So it's like, since then, and like seeing and being able to do that, like I don't let my coaches tell me they can't do something. Like that challenges me to be like, nope, like put that shit, excuse my language, on your vision board, and I want to see it because you're gonna make it happen. Like I don't like negativity, and I believe in all of them, and I believe in me, and so I believe in this business. So I'm like, we can do anything. I mean, I've seen people do stuff. You know, we're not any different. This business doesn't play favorites. You know, you can do what anybody else can do. So.
Whitney, I have a question. I love your story. It's these kind of stories that just, I mean, I always say everyone has a story. Some are, you know, bigger than others, but they all matter. How do you obviously get your coaches? I love your attitude and the way you start them off. But even before that step, because we all see so many people that just need the help, need the opportunity, are in financial distress, or just want to be part of something positive. And, you know, some get it, some don't. Do you have any tips on like what you do to help convince them to actually come on board?
Yes. So I had to really get focused on my niche because my niche is literally, sounds so depressing, but it's like single depressed moms, because I feel like I was helped by this, and I want to pay it forward to the people that were in those shoes. So I definitely had to get really focused on that. And then I just focus when you're talking to them, and especially people in that boat, like they're negative. They're really negative. So, and I always send them a call that I did that has my story in it. And then it's with another single mom from a totally different team. And then I kind of I just kind of really hold their hand and listen, because especially people in that situation, or like any coach, anybody that needs this opportunity, they need somebody to listen to them. So I just listen and build that relationship with them. And by that point, after, you know, I mean, I'll get on a call with a potential coach and we'll talk probably longer than I should allow, but I love it. I love meeting new people, and we'll cry or whatever. And by that point, they trust me, and they trust that they're going to, you know, and after that, like I can sign them up. And I mean, if you guys don't get people on the phone, which I couldn't for a while, I totally recommend it. It's up my recruiting 1,000,000%. And that's probably the biggest thing, is just getting to know them, and really, especially somebody in like that situation, or anybody, I mean, and they're broke. So it's like, you can't just be like, hey, sign up. It's a challenge, you know, $140 for a challenge pack. Like, I didn't have $140. I didn't have $4. So it's that sharing that value, and being able to be like, this is going to be worth selling your crap on eBay, or like budgeting in your groceries. Because you're going to get that investment back, and I'm going to be with you in that every step of the way to get that investment back. Just and showing them that visual and that picture, so they already see it. They see what's going to happen, so they're not scared and don't know what's going to happen when they sign up. You just make it like they've already signed up. They've already joined your team.
Any other questions? Anybody? I love this topic. I think it really helps ground us and really focus on what is to come. Reminder, you know, if you haven't talked to your coaches yet, what you do right now sets you up for success at the end of the year and then the first of the year. So maybe this is a great way to take this to your team and say, okay, new vision for the next 3 months. What is it? And it could be as simple as they want extra money to pay for holiday gifts, or they want to start building a big enough base of people that they know that they can help January 1st with weight loss. Whatever the vision is, go to your team and help create it. Because I promise, so much in this business, we get so caught up with elite, elite, elite. And yes, elite is absolutely amazing. But reminder, yes, you will be an elite team, but your name is directly tied to that. And unless you help your coaches with what they really want to accomplish and achieve, and even if it's a couple $100, extra per month, it's hard for them to feel like they are part of it. You know what I mean? So you really want to go back to their why. And if I haven't ever said this yet to you guys, focus on their negative why. And this negative why is what makes you cry. And I say that in a very positive way. I actually used to do this with my weight loss clients when I was a trainer. And because the why is the big fluffy stuff, right? It's the yacht. It's the whatever you want. But you can go to sleep at night because you'll get your yacht one day, right? But I promise you, you will not go to sleep at night if you know you have to put your child into daycare. You will not go to sleep at night if you can't walk them home off the bus. You will not go to sleep at night, right? It's those things that really drive emotion into you. And so I challenge you to ask your coaches exactly that. I did that actually when I traveled last week to California, and I had a specific coach that I was just asking a lot of questions, and it was so much of her big why. And I said, what is the negative part? And she told me, and she just broke down in tears. And I'm not here to make you cry, but I want you to have that feeling of why you're doing this, right? So I really challenge you to go to your coaches and ask them what their negative why is. Why is it that they are doing this business, and a way for you to hold them accountable through the process. Sorry, that was a little bit of a long story, but I really like that negative why. It works, I promise.
It totally works. It totally drives them. I mean, I have coaches with some crazy whys, like really big, hairy, scary whys. And yeah, and that'll get them too. Like when they're, I'm just going to give up this month or whatever. Like I had a coach who was just like, I'm just done. Like, it's not going to happen. Nobody's messaging me back. And I was like, remember, like, you need to get home. Like, she's trying to move her family home. And I'm like, you got to get home. Like, we got to get you out of she's living in a trailer. I'm like, we got to get you out of the trailer. We got to get you home. And she immediately was like, bam. And she went and sold 3 challenge packs at Success Club. So yes, I love the negative why.
Awesome. Anything else you guys want to say, collaborate about?
I was just going to add to it a couple Super Saturdays, obviously. We did the kind of the vision board, not the project, but a suggestion was made to have your children do it also. And fortunately, that weekend I had my success partner in town, and she had her kids. So that night we went to a dollar store and we bought just like the big poster boards and a bunch of just crazy magazines, travel magazines. And we sat down with the kids, and as we were creating our vision boards, we had our children do it too. That way they kind of understand why what we do is so important. And we might have Disneyland or a new house or something on our board, but then they can see why mom and dad worked so hard. And then we get to see what is important to them. Like what is it that our kids are looking forward to, or what types of visions do they have? And it can help us with our why and put that onto our board. And it was just really cool to have our kids sit down with us and do Beachbody stuff, because my kids are 9 and 5, they don't get involved. And so to involve them in a project that mommy was doing, they thought it was cool. And I saved our little vision boards, and I thought it was just awesome. So another extra tip.
That is so cool. I love that. Anybody else want to collaborate? Jump in. The rest of you are just being flies on the wall, but we totally love it.
I have a question. Whitney, what have you done as far as, have you done like a team retreat with your coaches?
I have not yet. That's on my vision board for this next year. My coach is doing one, and I get to use it as an incentive to take a guest to my next person that pops diamond, hopefully. So, but personally, I haven't done one yet, but like we have a super tight team because I do focus on a lot of like the people and all that. So that's a big, I can't wait to be able to reward my team with that.
Okay.
As far as with leadership retreat, because I know, or excuse me, diamond retreat, all of those things, keep in mind too, and many of you don't think about it, but Utah's a great place to come because obviously we have a home office here. And what's really cool is one of my 5-star diamonds got her entire, there's about 20 of them, if not more. And they came here, and Jeff Hill, it took an hour and a half and went over an entire leadership, what he would actually address at Summit. So it was really, really cool. So keep that in mind. We're actually getting a bigger space because, as you can tell, I'm in the walkway. And that will be the end of the year to the first of the year. So it's also really cool, to come out to Utah, and there's different areas. So many coaches do that. And then we can help get involved and do some motivational speaking for you guys.
That's awesome.
Right?
I have a quick question if we have time.
Yeah.
I was wondering if Whitney or anybody else that's on has some advice for me. I have seems to be like a chronic problem with coaches who hit diamond and then lose rank, or they get really, really close to diamond and then they start feeling overwhelmed and they just start backing off. So that's the first part of my question. The second part is, how do you guys balance running a large team? Like, I have almost 800 in my downline, and I feel responsible to lead them. And I think I know that my problem is that I'm not digging in deep enough with a smaller group of my coaches, and I'm trying to lead all these people. So how do you guys handle that, and what do you suggest?
So for me personally, the first part, the handling the downline, I open up, I have a ongoing appointment file in my team, and I open up 20-minute phone calls with anybody in the downline, but they have to hit Success Club 5 and the previous month to be able to get that in the next month, and then they have to fill out a form on their goals and send that to me, and those forms have to be in by Sunday night for the previous week to get an appointment. If they're not doing those things, this might sound mean, but they don't get my time. There's people pushing, and I need to be available for them. So that helps too, because I have a big downline as well, and I feel like I get a lot of messages because I'm fun and we do the fun stuff, and then I get messages from everybody, and then so I'm like, you gotta put in the work, and then you get my time. And then as far as the dropping diamonds, I've had that too. So in fact, I just lost a diamond, and that's hurts in September. But I feel like with that, it is focusing on that, making sure they're doing their personal development. Because when you're diamond, you're a leader, you all of a sudden have this team. And so for some people, it's not hard for them to get to diamond. So they really haven't dug into everything yet. And then they're starting to feel the pressure, or they're almost diamond, they're starting to feel this pressure. So they back off. I'm really focused with them, especially my diamond leaders, giving them little leadership things in the team, people that are almost diamond and diamond. They do videos for my Glance into Coaching group. They hop on Zooms. They feel kind of some of that responsibility, and that has helped a lot. It's helped people kind of get over that hump of hitting diamond and then now what? As well as making sure they're doing their vision boards and their big picture, because there's more out there than just diamond and what that means to them. So I hope that helps a little.
Absolutely. That helped a lot. Thank you so much.
Did you guys see the video that Michael Folsom did? She did, it was the Best of the West call, a couple weeks ago. I really liked what she said about, and it helped my team. I gave the message back to my team about not making a big deal about emeralds. And then once they hit emerald, just keep hitting emerald again. Because I think what happens, I know at least for my team, I have the same issue, is that they hit emerald and then it's okay, now I have to lead these people. And then all of a sudden it goes from doing the vital behaviors, the very basic things, to now I have to do everything that you're doing. And it just gets completely overwhelming, because then they try to run their coach's business to get them to emerald. And what I've done is I've just stop. I told a couple of my coaches, I said, stop going to diamond, just stop trying, just hit emerald again. And when you hit it again, set the goal for the next week or the next 2 weeks to hit emerald again. And she actually did that, to where now she just needs her emeralds. And I said, and along the way, just show your coaches how you got to Emerald yourself and how you keep getting to Emerald. So then it's kind of helped give that message too. Like now that I am Diamond, I don't stop adding new coaches and just focus on what I have. I just keep getting to Emerald. And so if anything, that even if it's just 2 coaches a month, they're still continuing to grow. And it just kind of repeats the whole like simplicity thing to them, which really has, like I said, it's helped with the overwhelming feeling because they don't have to think so much about everything else. But then, like you said, just adding, or no, it was the national wake up call that I just listened to right before. Was just adding that extra thing a day that you do need as a leader to do, which seems to be helping with my team, if that helps.
That was awesome, Jen. I love it. It teaches your coaches to constantly recruit. And this is, as soon as I get a 2-star diamond, I'm sure you guys have had this conversation with me, but I remind you, what did it take you to become a diamond or a 2-star diamond? And it's all about recruiting. We naturally hit diamond. It's like, okay, now our attention shifts. But if you focus on emerald, you'll constantly recruit. Then your team sees what you're doing and they'll continue to recruit and it will duplicate. So I love that. Thanks for bringing that up, Jen.
I run a super emerald group and it's based on that, like getting emerald again and again and again. And we do announcements and stuff just like they hit emerald. We're like, super emerald, people probably think I'm crazy, but it works really well. It works really well.
It's my coach that she said that she was I told her to stop trying for diamond, just go emerald. She said that she was going to be a 6-star emerald coach. So, but it took the pressure off it. Before she was like, I can't even put a date on diamond. It's giving me anxiety. And I was like, well, then stop. And so it helped. So I see that.
So cool. Any last questions before we pop off? Or anything else you want to collaborate, ask other coaches just like yourself that, any struggles within the business this month, anything that... Nothing. You're all rock stars.
I have something, if we're just chatting here, if that's all right. This is more just like just talk to me kind of thing. The wake-up call from this week made me feel a little bit crazy. Not in a bad way, just in one of those like self-evaluating ways. And I guess I've always been the coach that like, if somebody's starting and they're interested, I just get them signed up as a discount coach. And did you guys listen to the wake up call on Monday? Okay. So, and she strongly discouraged that. So I just wanted to hear what you guys do and what your thoughts were, because part of my focus with my team for the month of September is for them. Like, I am such a self-reflective person. And that's the teacher in me. One second. Every time I do something, I like immediately evaluate how would I do it differently. And so like I've been giving them activities for them to sort of reevaluate themselves a lot. And so I started this new thing with every wake up call, I post several questions on my team page about the call. And some are straight up like, I'm looking at my notes, like after her first summit, what did Shane commit to? PD, right? So this is just like, did you listen to the call? And then there are other things that I want them to actually like apply to their business. So what was her end goal for a shake and share? And would you do one, why or why not? So they have to talk to me about like where they stand on things and how they run their business. But this caused like a big woof on my team, because some people were like, we're signing discount coaches right away. She's saying not to do that. And I was just kind of like, so thoughts on that, I would appreciate.
Hey, Allison, it's funny that you bring that up, because the minute she said that, I was like, whoa. Because this is what I had to tell myself. We are all different. And Raina Odell did the National Wake Up Call probably over a year ago. And she said she presents the opportunity to every single person. She did the Best in the West call a couple weeks ago that blew my mind. Like, she's just like a rock star, but I'm like, I want to be her, but like I could be her mom. But I run my business based on how Raina runs hers, because she was like, I'm bold, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so me. I am, what you see is what you get, and this is how I do it. I did not let that discourage me. What I think it's fantastic for her, but I am more of Raina's style, because it stopped me too, and I was like, oh my gosh, but I present the opportunity to everybody because number one, why don't I want to save them money? Why not? That is me being kind and generous and part of my job. It keeps legs strong, like, because I made my husband diamond, and so, you know, I'm being real. I got to manage that business. And those discount coaches, like Melanie Mitro, can turn into anything. So that's my 2 cents. If it, you know, that's just what I thought.
Yeah, that helps. I appreciate that.
I
Because
totally agree.
I've always done the same. If somebody comes, I offer it right away because, and you know, one of the things I've often said to them is, you're going to do this and you're going to inspire people. So why not be in a position to do it right out of the gate? You know?
And remind your coaches, like, and this is what happens, especially with those Best of the West calls, is it feels like as soon as we hear something amazing, we're like, oh my gosh, we had to tweak that in our business and we had to change this and we had to do this. Remind your coaches, you're going to learn some great information. Take little pieces and just apply it. Don't change everything, especially if you're successful, you know, because it's easy to hear what somebody's doing. It's like, oh, but we do that differently. Just remind them everybody runs this business a little differently, and it's okay, and walk them off that cliff, right? Because we can. If we listen to everybody else, we'll constantly change what we're doing, and we'll just spin in a circle. Find what works for you and just continue to do it. If it doesn't work, try something different.
I had one other thing to add to that too that might help you guys. I think it's all in the wording. My success partner Brandy, who was on the call a little bit ago and got off, we realized in the last couple of months that we both recruit like mad women. Like, we can recruit like nobody's business, but we have a pool of discount coaches who don't want to do anything. And we started looking a little closer and realized that the way we were sharing about that opportunity when they were buying their challenge pack, and we would say, you know, by the way, do you want to do this upgrade? Cost you anything? It's like a coupon on Shakeology or any of the workouts you get. It's this awesome way to save money.
Hey, mute yourself, please, if you're not talking.
She's awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Anyway, we recently had I think that's where you'll either recruit like crazy, but you'll end up with a team full of discount coaches who aren't doing anything because you told them they didn't have to, or you change the way that you offer that and you share with them what's possible. So I think it kind of depends on how you're doing that. So we've really changed our focus to stop wording it as though they don't have to do anything and can just enjoy it as a coupon, and are sharing more honestly about what the business has done for us, and then giving them the option of what they want to do at that moment.
Yeah, I agree with that, because that's what I took out when she made that comment. I was like, oh, like, why are you saying this? But that's the same thing I took, because I had that realization at the end of last year. I was just like, okay, I have all these people on the team, everything's doing great, and like, why is no one moving? And then you have to kind of self-reflect and realize if I was a discount coach, and I know people can change their minds and do different things, but if I would have never known the opportunity that the business had in the first place when my coach recruited me knowing that I was going to be a discount coach, then I would have never known the opportunities that I could take. And that was, I think, one of the biggest things is that a lot of people I know on my team, it's like, oh, come do the discount. You don't have to do anything, especially because we're a lot of military people. So it's a free discount for people. And I really had to make sure to specify, like, you still need to present the business to them so they at least know what the potential is if they do decide to inspire. And if they don't, that's fine. But they at least need to know what the opportunity is. And that has changed a lot, even if they have been discount coaches and then gone from there. Or even just mentioning, like, you can be a discount coach, but you can at least get your products paid for. And that helps a lot too. So it's just, showing a little bit of the potential, even if they're just like, I want to be a discount coach. Because the other thing I noticed that she mentioned too was waiting until people come to her. And I don't know. I don't have that many people coming to me all the time, so I couldn't put myself in that position.
All right, coaches. Anything else that you want to kind of discuss, go over, anything like that? All right. Well, Whitney, thank you, girlfriend, for an amazing talk. Absolutely love that. I think it's very easy to get taken away and carried by, what we have going on, but focus on what the bigger picture is. My favorite quote from college was, don't sacrifice what you want most for what you want now. So what that means is put in the fruit of labor and focus on the bigger picture. And I challenge you to go out and do a vision board. I'm going to do mine. I'll take a picture. But I know mine is going to be elaborate, so give me a week or two because I have a whole idea on it. But I'll take a picture and I'll post it in the group because I think no matter where we're at in life or with business, you definitely need a vision on where you're going. So thank you, Whitney. Amazing call. And then any other questions, please just put them into the group. But thanks for your time, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.